Alright guys, I'm making this video because, well, nobody on YouTube seems to have made this video, and it seems to be a pretty common problem. This is a 96 Dodge Ram B250 or 2500, whatever you want to call it, and it has, as you can see, it's off right now. It's got quite a bit of play in the steering, okay? So, did some diagnosis, figured out the problem is right down here in the intermediate shaft from the steering column. Let's see if we can get a good shot of that. I don't know if you can really tell in the video there, but the main thing about this is nobody makes the part. Nobody. You cannot get it from the dealer. There's no aftermarket for this exact fit part. So you got two options. You can either look around in junkyards, which is a pain in the butt, and I know that because I got mine out of the junkyard, and the closest junkyard they had it was about 50 miles from me. So your other option, from what I was reading online, I don't know how true it is or whatever, but I guess if you take some measurements and all that, you can go to companies like Flaming River, or any company like that that makes steering columns and steering column shafts and all that, and you can buy something to replace this. But it's, from what I was looking, pricing it out, it's like $250, $230, $230 to $250. So this van is mainly just used for work. If the owner of it kind of just, if you can get another 2 years out of it, we'll be happy. So I was able to find it in the junkyard. I went and pulled it, and it cost me about $80. But I noticed there's no videos on how to change this. And with it being such a common problem, I thought, hey, I'll make a video on how to do it, because a lot of people might shy away from it, maybe go to a shop and God knows what they're going to charge you, because it looks like a hard job, because you're looking in there and you're like, man, there's not a lot of room, and but in reality, it's actually not that bad. So I figured I'd show you guys today how to do it, and maybe save somebody some money out there, so that way you don't have to pay somebody else. You can just do it yourself. Like I said, the hardest part of this job is finding the part. If you can find it, you can change it. It's not that hard. So this video is going to be kind of broken up into like little pieces, because I'm having to use my phone today. I totally forgot my camera. So sorry, I'm going to do the best I can to film it, and so you guys can see what's going on and what I'm doing and how I'm getting this apart. And I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some tools together and get the new part and all that, and then I'll show you guys where I'm starting. Alright. Guys, I'm back. Well, all the bolts are, this is pretty much what you need for the bolts, is just a socket, ratchet, socket, half-inch socket. All the bolts on this thing are half-inch. The ones on the couplers are half-inch. The ones on this, on the inside, they're half-inch. So you've got, what, 3 here, 4, 5, 5 bolts, and you get it off. Now the other thing, if people don't know, see this boot's on backwards. I slid it back on at the junkyard backwards. I gotta fix that. But the steering, this intermediate shaft here does slide. I don't know if I can get it through. There we go. See, it slides in and out. Now to take this off, if you need to. Now at the junkyard, I didn't really need to take it off, but I had a buddy inside pulling on it, and it popped out, and he freaked out, thought he broke it. He didn't break it. You got this little clip right here. Pop this clip out. You don't even need to pop it out all the way, but if you pull on it a little bit on each side, you can actually slide this shaft out, which allows you to, take the boot out. Now, I don't know if they sell these boots, like if yours is bad and the one in the junkyard's bad. I did not look that up. I'm assuming maybe, most likely, I would guess. So if you needed to just change the, the boot, all you got to do is pull that out. This goes under the dash. This is the part that connects to your actual steering column. This is the part out here that we were looking at under the hood earlier. So, yeah, this is the one I got out of the junkyard yesterday. And, yeah, so I'm going to switch that boot around. And then we'll take this back up from underneath the dash. and hopefully I can get a good shot so you guys can see, you know, how this comes apart. It's pretty simple. So, all right, talk to you guys in a minute. All right, now we're under the dash here, right by the brake pedal, and you can see what I'm talking about. You got your coupler right here, okay? You got your bolt on top. Now, while the couplers are attached, you can turn the wheels, you know, left, right, whatever you need to get to these bolts. You just got to make sure that before you take this shaft off, that you have the wheels straight and the steering wheel, you know, make sure you have the actual wheels on the van straight. The steering wheel you can straighten out once you get your new shaft on, because sometimes there's so much play, as you can see in this one. You know, it's straight right now, but I can, you know, it likes to lean on one side or the other. Well, once we put that new shaft in there, it's going to stay, you know, nice and straight. So you don't want to take this off, you know, having your wheels turned to one side or the other. You want it straight. But if you need to turn it to get to the bolts, you can take the bolt out and this will still turn. As you know, as long as you're able to turn it on, you got power steering, you'll be able to turn it. You'll be all right. Now, what you got to do is pull some of this carpeting out of the way. All right, and as you can see, there's our boot right down in here. Now, I don't recommend cutting the carpet. I know some people do. I don't. I just kind of pull it a little bit, you know, just to get to it. And as you can see, we got our 3 bolts right here. You got 2 right there and 1 back up there, which I don't know if you guys can see. So they're all a 1/2 inch. Now what I like to do is I like to get the boot loose first. So I take the 3 bolts off. Then I'll actually start the van and turn this to where I can get a decent grab on this, loosen it up, because these do have a little bit of Loctite on them. So first couple spins are a little rough. Sometimes, I mean, other times they come right out. But yeah, so I'm not going to record me, you know, loosening bolts and stuff like that, because I figure if you're taking on this job, you probably loosen some bolts in your day and you know what you're doing. So I'm just going to loosen the bolts up, and then I'll show you how to get this coupler off. Alright guys, well, I got the bolts out, as you can see here. Boot's loose. I spun this around so I could get to the bolt, which the head was up here. Got it out, and then I put it back before, you know, I showed you guys what was going on. But as you can see, this one on the inside, you just push straight down here, and there you go. Now you're loose. You got it loose. You can move this a little if you need to, and see, there's our, you know, all the way out to the engine bay there. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back under the hood to where I showed you guys earlier. Now I'm going to take my my wrench here, loosen up the bolt out there. That one, luckily on mine, might not be the case on yours. Luckily on mine, the bolt is lined up in a good spot to where you don't have to turn the wheels. So before I took that off, I did reset my wheels here straight. So that way when I put it back together, hopefully, you know, my steering wheel and everything will all be straight. But if not, I'll show you guys, you know, how to adjust that. So, but yeah. So I'll show you guys when I get that bolt loose, because out there it's a little more. It's not going to come off as nicely as this one, but it's still not that hard. So I'll be back. Guys, so I got the bolt out now. So now what we're going to need is a decent sized screwdriver. It doesn't have to be this long, you know, but I like to use the longer ones, especially when I'm going down, you know, into the depths here. So what you're going to do, let me get a good shot here. Alright. Now, I got the bolt out, and you have to take the bolt completely out, because there's a notch in there. It's going to hold it otherwise. Hold on here, let me reposition this light so we can see what we're doing here. Put it up there. That's a little better. So, now what you got to do, get a screwdriver, something in here, and just tap on it with a hammer. This does not have to open very much, okay? You don't need to go, you know, all crazy with it and try to beat it open an inch or something like that. Just enough. You know, you just want to get it open just enough to get it off of the splines in there, and then this is going to slide right up. Now at the junkyard, I got this open, enough, but the other one was pretty rusted on there, even though it looks like new. But the actual shaft in here was pretty rusty. So then what I did was I came in down here and I tapped it and I got it up a little bit, and I just kind of kept working it from both sides here, tapping it, pulling up on it, tapping it, pulling up on it, and it just, eventually it just popped right out. So that's what you want to do. I'm going to take a hammer and I'm going to tap in here, get this kind of spread open a little bit, and then pull it up on out of there. And like I said, you just, you don't need to open it a lot, just a little. Don't go crazy with it, don't go, smashing it with a sledgehammer or something. Especially if you're going to the junkyard to pull your own, you don't want to do that. I mean, this one, I could really care less if I break it because I have a replacement, and this one's junk anyway. But, I had to be real careful with that junkyard one because I'm planning on reusing it. So that's my tip for you. So I'm going to get to working on this and see if we can get this spread apart a little bit here. And then should come right out, and I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's off. Alright. I'm going to show you what I'm doing here before I get it completely off. As you can see, I have the screwdriver stuffed in there. So that's about as wide as you need to get it open. And then I found this. I don't know what it is. Probably used to be a punch, but I mean, you could use a screwdriver. I was using one earlier, but this thing's got a little bit better fit. Let's see, you go down here and get it underneath a little. You can, keep pulling on it, going all the way around. I can't do the other side while I'm holding the camera, but you guys get the drift. As you can see, it's almost out. I've been working on it about, maybe about 5-10 minutes, not even, and it's almost completely off of there. So I'll show you guys what it looks like when it's out. All right. We got it out of there, and as you can see, that shaft is pretty rusty. So probably seen some better days there. But I'm gonna clean it up a little and all that. But I wanted to show you guys comparison between the two, the new and the old here. So we got our this is our new one, okay. And as you can see, hold on, let me switch hands here. As you can see, nice and tight. Now you got the old one. I don't even know if you could see that. Yeah, see the play we got right there? That is not good. Not good. And then the other thing I was going to say, now see my old one, my knuckle here is really tight on the inside. This is what goes onto the actual steering column inside the van. My new one here, well, new to me, it's got a little bit of play. Now, like I told you before, these shafts come out of here. You just pop these clips off. It's real easy. You just get a flathead in there. Actually, I can show you. Hold on. You guys can see how easy it is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put my old inner joint on my new to me, outer. So this is what you do. Since this one's already up, you just you get under here like so. I can do this one-handed. Hold on. I am right-handed. Maybe that's the hand I should use. 1 second, guys. Sorry, I know, bad shot. Okay. Now, what you're gonna do, you're gonna come under it with the screwdriver, and you just pull it up. It's just plastic. Be careful with it, and it slides out. Oh, it hit me in the stomach. See, and then you can see here it will come off. It'll be easier with two hands, but hold on. Let's see. This one's got a lot of suction on it too. Usually, by this age, they don't really have much suction. There we go. See? Just popped right out. Now you want to make sure that that's greased up pretty good. You know, I'll probably throw a little more grease on it. And if you're gonna switch them like this, you know, just make sure. I mean, if the one you get is good, don't worry about it. You know, with mine, this feels like it's got, you know, it's got a little bit of play in it. Not even much. Probably like normally I wouldn't care, but you know, this one has no play in it. So this way I'll have this joint will be good, and we got this joint that's good. And then I'm just gonna keep this one as a backup since these things are so hard to find. No, my luck, if I throw it away, this one's gonna end up breaking, and then we'll be out of luck. So I'm gonna do some parts swapping here, and then we will put this one in. So, all right. Thing, guys, before I go putting these in. Now these boots, if you look at them, see how they're on an angle like that. Now, I know, you know, this might seem stupid, but so I'll let you know they are marked top. So this will go facing your dashboard. It will go up. That way it matches the contour of the floor. So don't go trying to put it in backwards, because then you're going to wear the boot out. And then you're going to, you know, while you're driving down the road, you're going to have cold air or warm air or just road noise, you know, coming in from your worn out boot. And you'll have to, you know, do at least half of this job over to get the boot out and all that. So, and then the other thing, I mean, you could swap boots if you really wanted to. To be honest, I think my junkyard boot looks a little better. I know it's a little drier, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. It feels a little stronger, a little thicker, maybe. So I'm gonna put it on. I mean, I'm keeping that boot anyway. So if this one sucks, I'll just have to, you know, I'll have to go back in and change it. But yeah, I think we'll do that. I think we'll just leave the junkyard boot. I think that one's going to be better because, I don't know, this one's like kind of bent and not feeling it. Not feeling it. I kind of like this other one. So, okay, well, I will, yeah, I guess we'll pick it up when I go to put this in. Alright, guys, one thing I wanted to show you before I put this back on is in the shaft here. I don't know if you can see it. You see it's got that flat spot. So you have to line that flat spot up with the flat spot down there. Otherwise, it's not going to go back together. So if you're not getting it, make sure you've got that lined up, because you don't want to go jackhammering on it and you don't have that lined up, and God forbid something happens down the road. You know, it's just bad all around. So that goes on way easier than it came off. You know, you slide it on there. You can, if you have to tap it down a little, you know, use a small hammer. Don't go crazy. You know, and just be careful with it. You know, make sure it's all lined up and all that. Clean the other shaft off. I haven't done that yet, but I'm gonna do it about now. I'm gonna probably use some emery cloth. Clean it up. You don't want to go nuts with it like on a wire wheel or nothing, because it is splined and all that, and you don't want to wear the splines down and take a chance on it stripping out or anything like that. So just, you know, a nice light cleaning. Try to get as much rust off as you can. You don't have to go crazy with it. Just take it easy. And like I said, make sure you line up the flat spot. So, all right. I will probably come back to you guys when I'm inside. Okay. Well, new one's on, and you want to make sure, you want to make sure you see about how close that is down there. That's about how far down you want to tap it in. Now this one, I barely had to tap it, and it slid right over after cleaning it up. And tightening that bolt, I'm sure there's a torque spec, and I'm sure somebody knows it. Now, I don't. I kind of just do everything that I feel. I've been doing this quite a long time. Not as long as some, but long enough to know what it should feel like, you know. Now that is an aluminum coupler, so you do not want to, you don't want to go all crazy on it, because that's just gonna cause problems, and you're gonna end up stripping it out, and then you're back at square one, having to find another part, all that. So now we're back inside here. Now the last thing I bolt back down is the boot. I always get this coupler up here first. Now this one, as you can see, is not, you know, it's not, does not have the flat side to it. So what you need to make sure you line up is you got this hole right here, and you got a notch here that's right there. I don't know if you got, yeah, there you go, right there. So you got to line those up. Now the wheel, since we know our wheels down there are straight at the moment, our actual steering wheels, what we're gonna have to do here is give this a spin here, which that's not gonna work because this is gonna be upside down. Looks like I'm gonna have to pull that shaft out of there, guys, and spin it around. I don't know what I was thinking, but we don't edit out mistakes, so I'm gonna spin that around. I'm not gonna have to take nothing off out there, and just pulling that plastic clip off like I did before and spin her around on there, so that way it lines up. My steering wheel will be straight, and it will be straight with the wheels down there. Hey guys, back. Like I said, I pulled it back out of here, spun it around. Now our bolt will line up with the notch so that we know everything is good. And that's exactly why I don't bolt this in. If I would have bolted that in, I would have never got this back out. Just because you never know what's going to happen. Now, see, we got to turn the wheel a little. Hold on here. Sorry, guys. It's hard to do this. I only got 2 hands. There we go. Now she's back up in there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold this here. I'm going to have to put you guys down and stop recording. I'm going to start the van and turn the wheels so I can get to that bolt again like I did earlier. Alright? Well, as you can see, we got her all bolted back up there. Got the carpet back in place. Steering wheel is straight. Wheels are, oh, let's see, straight. Now, I do think this thing needs an alignment slightly. I think it's just a little off. I haven't taken it for a ride yet, but I'm pretty sure the wheel's you're gonna have to hold it to one side or the other. But as you can see, that is all the play we get now out of it before you feel it starting to turn. That's it. You know, it's not gonna be perfect, because, well, let's face it, it's got, you know, that's 210,000 miles. And that's, the speedometer doesn't even work anymore. That's probably about 40,000 miles off at the moment. But, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's not going to be perfect, but it's way better and a heck of a lot safer. And hopefully this helps somebody, you know, because I know before I like to work on stuff sometimes, you know, even though I've, you know, been working on cars forever, if it's something I haven't done, hey, I'll pop on YouTube and see if somebody's done it before and kind of watch and, you know, try to learn some of the tricks, you know, that's what I like to do. And I didn't find this, you know, and I found forums that were like 4 or 5 years old, and a lot of them, they didn't explain how to do it. It just said, hey, you can't buy the part anywhere, and you know, it was very vague on stuff. So now you can learn from my headache. So it took us about 3 weeks to find this part at a junkyard, tracing down rumors of, you know, dealerships maybe having back stock of this and nothing. And because the owner of the van was actually going to buy a new one, he wanted to go new with it, and we just couldn't do it because nobody makes it. So if one day some part company sees this, you know, I don't care which one it is, you know, Dorman, whoever, you know, why don't you make that shaft? There's a lot of these vans on the road, and it's a pretty common problem. Seems like you probably make some money on that. So, well, I know I don't make videos often or regularly or anything like that, but I try to make videos on stuff that, you know, I can't find videos for. So this seems to be one of those. But I will talk to you guys eventually, and you guys have a good day, and you know, have a blast working on one of these vans. They're kind of fun to work on. They're a little different than anything else you work on, really. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later.